All right, welcome back, guys. Today we're taking a look at 5 Firehouse riffs you gotta know, and this is it's meant as a tribute, not only to the band but to the singer of this band, CJ Snare from Firehouse. Passed away earlier this month. This is April 2024, April 12th to be exact, when I'm recording this, and CJ passed away about a week ago, and many condolences to his family, friends, colleagues, fans, all of you guys who loved CJ and loved the band. Definitely grieving with you. So, but this is meant as a tribute to celebrate the music of Firehouse, and all of these riffs are going to be from the first album, which is my favorite, and it's going to focus on, the killer riffs and stuff from the band, as opposed to the ballads. Maybe we'll do some ballads later on, but we're going to look at the hard rock and stuff here, including that killer riff I just played, which is a finger twister, let me tell you. It's a very cool riff. I want to show you that in just a second. A couple things to note is, if you're looking for the tab for this, you can find it over on my Patreon page. Link down below for that. Also, there's a free sweet picking guide. It's my free gift to you. You can check that out. It's a free download in the links below. For this lesson, excuse me, for this lesson, we're tuned down a half step. So this is all E flat standard tuning, and here is my low E string for reference. There you go. I better take a swig of coffee here before I get going. Firewolf, not Firehouse. One of my bands, if you're not aware of that. Firewolf. So let's get into it. Let's just get right to the music here. This first riff is the hardest one of the bunch. I thought we'd just get it out of the way first. It's a big stretch. I think the hardest part about it is the stretch. I thought maybe before I had done any research on this was all kind of played in one little section here, but after the research, I've seen that this is a big, the riff is played using these stretches. So, stretch out before you play this. Fingers, wrist. You can really, for me, I can really feel it in the wrist. So if you have small-ish hands, this might be one you really want to go slow on. If you have bigger hands, it might not be as bad, but you're going to end up doing a pull-off from the 7th fret to the 2nd fret, and so that requires a big stretch and a hand position with the thumb behind the neck. So we'll go through this slow here, and what you're going to do first is play the fingering I'm using is index finger 2nd fret on the low E, middle finger to pull off to the 2nd fret on the D string. The middle finger's on the 4th fret, so I'm kind of barring this so I can do that and keep coming back to this. And then we're going to play 6 on the A string. So there's 2 of these on the low F sharp note there on the 2nd fret. Pull off from 4th fret to 2nd fret on the D. Another low F sharp, and then 6th fret on the A string. 2 more on the low E there. Big stretch, 7 pull off to 2. Back to 6. So it's kind of like that, 6, 7, 6. And that's 4-2 on the A, 5-2 low E. That's right out of your F sharp minor pentatonic box. So the whole riff's F sharp minor here. Sorry, let's try that again. Okay, and that's the first section of it. Then the riff repeats. We have a different ending, and that's just it's 2 on the F sharp, 4/5 on the low E, and that resolves to a B5 power chord without the root. So it's just 4 and 4 on the D and G. So all of that together should sound like this. We're going to repeat the riff. And then we have that ending. So first part of the riff is the same. After you do the, then we're going to play 7 on the A string, then 5 on the low E, 7 again on the A, oops, and 6 on the low E, and then 7 again on the A, and that's 7 on the low E. So, and then hit that 2 more times on the low E, and then C to C sharp, 5 chords, power chords on the low E string. So in essence, you're going. Back to the riff. Just like the first time, and then this last time. Just to there, and then you're going to play, then you're into the verse. So it's an A power chord, E power chord, then you're into the verse section. So again, that last part. Okay, there you go. That is Shake and Tumble. And man, my wrist is killing me already. So a light touch is good. If your guitar action is high, this will be even harder. But I imagine taking your time with this, playing it over a few days' time, you know, going easy with it. Eventually, you're gonna, your fingers are gonna get stretched out enough, and it's gonna feel more comfortable. So I'm gonna keep working on this too, because I think it's a great riff to just for technique purposes and trying to get everything clean. So there you go, Shake and Tumble. Okay, probably my favorite song from Firehouse, All She Wrote. And I did cover this on another video, but I wanted to include it here because it's one of the best Firewolf songs, if not the best, most popular song, aside from the ballads, I think. So I had to be included here. So this one is kind of, you know, similar to some 80s stuff, like maybe Round and Round, or maybe some Winger type stuff. It has that. So what it is just an E power chord, but it's really a full E minor at the 7th fret. So I'm playing 7 on the A, 9D, 9G, 8 on the B, and 7 on the high E. So I'm barring on the 7th fret. And then you play that twice, and then take off your ring, pinky and middle, and you're just playing 7 on the D, G, and B. And there's your low E string here. So that's the rhythm of it. second time is kind of, or the third time is shorter. Okay, so after this, we're going to a C there. And then we're going to play this underneath it, which is what we've been doing. It's just a smaller version of it. But this allows you to play the middle finger on the 8th fret low E. Right? So the chord is moving to C, and you want that C there. Now on the actual recording, I'm not sure if that's just being played by the bass or not, but it does sound like the guitar is going there as well, and I think it sounds cooler anyway. So now you're going to do this. Then you want to move to a D. So right, the chord's moving from C to D. And when you do, so like that. So it keeps coming back to this. But now you're playing a D, and you're gonna go. You can hear that D in the lowest note there, though, right? So all of that together. Go into the riff at the end of that. Okay, so right out of E minor pentatonic here, 7th fret on the A string, low E, 5th fret on the A string, and then the low E again. And then low E, and then 5/7 on the A. Low E, 7th fret, 5th fret on the A. 5th fret on the D string. So that's 5th fret D, 7th fret A, 5th fret A, 7th fret A. So those two together sound like this. Now you're gonna go. That's just low E, 5th fret on the A, low E, 7th fret on the A. Like that. And then a little walk up here. Open A string, 2nd fret A, C5 power chord, D5, but then, which we've already done before. And that's just pinky barring with the 7th, with the ring finger at the 7th fret, D, G, and B, and then play the 8th fret on the B string, and just pull that off. So. And then that takes you into the verse, so you're just gonna hit a low E power chord there. All right. So this from this part. That's the entire riff for entire first part of the riff and the chorus riff for All She Wrote. Okay, now this one's super cool, kind of a mid-tempo. This is Don't Walk Away, and it goes like this. love that. So it's got this chord here. And what I'm doing is I'm playing the 7th fret on the A, muting the D string, and then playing with the underside of my middle finger, and then playing the 7th fret G and 8th fret on the B. So I'm playing the low E string like this. And then I'm playing all that together. And then you're just lowering this. So you're really not even hearing this note at the 7th fret on the A string much. You could probably get away with just going. I'm not sure what they do live, but that would sound cool as well. But I just like the fullness of this in there. And when I'm playing I'm really focused just on the G and B strings. Okay, and then we're going to go kind of a pinch harmonic. And this is on the A string, the D note, 5th fret. First pick it, and then pick it again and bend it, and then release it. Then go to the 5th fret on the low E string. Go. This is just kind of like a half step in here, and then 3rd fret on the low E. Then to the low E string. Okay, so you got second time. Okay, so instead of going, we're gonna go A5 power chord, and then it's kind of sliding into this with your index finger. Slide into 5 on the D string, and then play 5B, 5G, 5D again. Actually, it's you do play it, but you slide it right away. And then when you slide it up, play 7B, 7G, 7D. Okay, and then you start the riff again. So all that together. That's it. So it just basically plays what I showed you twice, and that's the entire riff for the intro. So that is Don't Walk Away. Okay, the next riff we're going to take a look at is Overnight Sensation. Love this riff, always gets me pumped up, and this is how it goes. Going into the verse. Okay, so that's a big chunk of the song right there. In the key of E minor. low E string is being played in between all of these power chords here. So E5 power chord, D5, C5, D5. Again, second time. G5 here at the 5th fret on the D string, 7th fret G, 8th fret B, and then your D5, the 5th fret. So that's both parts of the riff. Going into the verse, there's that, and so instead of playing the D chord at the end, it's playing those natural harmonics there at the 7th fret, like that. All right, so all that again. Alright, so in the verse, I'll just show you a part of that too. It's E, and that's like a C major 9 chord. You just make like a C chord there like that, except replace the 1st fret on the B string with the 3rd fret on the B string. Just let that hang there. So D, and then open E, and then 3, 2, open. So next time was just a G chord to a D, and then same as the first. Okay, now the pre-chorus, I will show you this because it's really cool. It's playing through a C major chord here, like that. I'm going and move that same thing up to a D. Again, if you need the tab, go over to Patreon and you can check that out. I gotta kind of move through these pretty quick because otherwise it'd be a super long video. Now we're playing this. So the D and G strings are open, but we're playing these low root notes first. So G, and then open D and G. So G note at the 3rd fret, low E. 2nd fret, F sharp, and then open D and G, low E, open D and G, and then D. So that's 5th fret, and then 7th fret D and G. So back to the C. The last time it just goes to the C, and then you play the D5 chord there. All right. Yeah, that's a super fun song. Not too hard either. Yeah, that's a great one. Overnight Sensation. All right, cool. And then the last riff is Helpless. I always like this one. Key of A. All right, so what we're doing here is going and that's 5th fret on the B and the G and B strings. Think A minor pentatonic here. So we're using that A string open. So 5th fret B and G string, like a double stop. Slight bend there. Then the open A. 7th fret D, open A. 5th fret D, open A. And then 7th fret A. So open A and then repeat that. Open E and then an F. I'm using my thumb here. Okay, let me spell that out for you. So I'm making an F chord 3, 2, and 1 on the D, G, and B with my ring, middle, and index. And I'm playing this pattern. Low E with the F note here. Then I'm going D, G, back to D. So then I'm going to B string, G string, and D string. Then I move this up to G. Now we're playing a G, but the picking pattern is slightly different. And this time we're going 3rd fret low E, 5th fret D, skip over to the B string, and then back to the D string, and then do this. And that's a pull off from 5 to 4 on the G string with your pinky. And then you end up on the 5th fret on the D string. Okay, and that's the whole riff. Let me do that again. Here we go. Okay, and that's Helpless, and that is all 5 riffs. Been kind of a long video, but I'm glad to do it because these guys deserve a tribute. And CJ, rest in peace, brother, and all the best to everyone out there, all the fans and stuff. Hope this brought you a little bit of joy. If you're a guitar player, go and check these riffs out. Grab the tab over at my Patreon, and I'll see you next time. Rock on.